So we worked on mostly just on roading for probably 2 years until we started recording Workman's Meal with Mr. Ed Wolfram. Ed was a Motown engineer. He had done tons of music that I have in my own record collection, and I was very in awe of the things that he had done. And we went in and recorded the basic tracks to Workman inside of 3 days.
Everything decent burns off to nowhere, and always she's nowhere, which seemingly shows there's no meaningful love. And feeling complete defeat when we're both there. The Cupid's retreat to amazing defeat by the demon's despair. Though stupid, I think that our love's kitchen sink is sure needing repair. Indeed, a serviceman is lurking there.
We had a lot of legal trouble with that record. Just releasing it was a hard sell. We were trying to sell it to the majors. Ed had connections, which didn't work out. They found it too quirky or too happy, one or the other, depending on who it was. It was like, you know, the thing was grunge then, you know, it was like, I'm mad, I'm depressed, life sucks. And that wasn't really the point of what we were doing, and we had a hard time selling it.
I think sometimes it was easier for the record company people to warm up to bands that were very familiar to them stylistically and sounded like material that they already knew well, because it jump-started that process of feeling like you knew the music as you listened to it. I don't mean to suggest that Frank's music was somehow so far off the beaten track that it wouldn't be immediately recognizable for what it is. It's, hey, 3 chords in a cloud of dust. It's Midwest Rust Belt rock. And make no mistake. But there was nothing currently charting on the national scene that had that sound.
In the time after we recorded Workman's Meal, we were playing a lot of jobs around the Midwest. We were confronted with audiences that increasingly seemed to expect a more abrasive hard rock sound. Frank resisted that on his principles that music should be more enjoyable and fun and lively. Frank also was refining his aesthetic sense in the songs that he was writing, and he wanted a quieter sound with the band. Perhaps one reason that I remember that he wanted a quieter sound also was he was starting to have problems with his voice.
We were doing this gig in Mackinac, and Frank wasn't feeling well, and so we went on stage, and his voice started to, kind of conk out. And it continued on for the next few gigs, and he went to the doctor and had his throat scoped and was hypnotized, all sorts of things, and nobody could figure it out. And one day he couldn't sing.
The problem is I have some sort of a psychological connection or mental connection with the muscle that's a swallowing muscle, and it basically clamps shut. And doesn't let any air through. When I go to sing, it's like when you throw up. It's the same exact muscle movement. It's the same exact feeling. If I try to sing, I kind of, it's like a stutter. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but there's nothing physically wrong with my throat. It's up here somehow.
Frank has a million melodies, and I know that somehow or it'll be manifested again. But it'll be when he wants to, as opposed to when everyone else wants him to.
There are 2 possible roads for Frank. Either one, some A&R person with some brains is going to fly into town, sign him up, give him enough money to do what he wants to do in the studio, and Frank will reach a wider audience. Or Frank's going to live in some little small town outside of Ann Arbor, raise a family, put out CDs, tour the Midwest, just keep doing what he's been doing for the last 10 years.
He'll always be able to play those songs for his kid. And you know what? Cash for My Car is going to mean as much to his kid in 5 years as it would mean to somebody 10 years ago. It's still going to be a fun song. That kid's going to know exactly what he's singing about. And that kid will have a great smile on their face, you know? And that's the most important thing. That's it. That's it.
If I could have done anything in my career different, I would have moved. I would have immediately taken off to LA and joined that whole nasty rat race if I really wanted to make it big. I'm happy with how my life is turning out and how it's turned out. So, in one way, I'd say I'm glad that I didn't know what I know now, because I would have moved, and it would have been sad. I'd be a different person now, and I would have made different music in the end. And instead, I feel like I had a lot of integrity and very little exposure. Okay?
But